Hello, everybody, and welcome to Finding Inner Freedom, shifting paradigms to become who you truly are. A global online event featuring over 20 speakers, healers, therapists, coaches, movement practitioners, shamans, alchemists, intuitive guides, and wisdom teachers to share how we can draw on the profound wisdom that is found beyond the conditioned mind to become more free. So we can heal, be in our bodies, live from the heart, and align with our soul. For when we do this, we can create magical new ways of being and living together that help fertilize the ground for a new humanity that benefits all. Thank you for joining us. My name is Julia Kyambi, and I am the host and the creator of this event. And today I am absolutely thrilled to welcome Tami Mensh. Hi, Tami.
Hi, Julia. So great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for being here. And I've already loved our conversation before we started our recording. Now let me go ahead and introduce you. So Tami Mensh has a master's in transpersonal psychology. She's ICF certified transformative life and spiritual business coach and founder of Kaleidoscope Lounge and Coaching, where curious people come for fearless and experiential learning. Faculty for the Leadership and Transformative Coaching Program at Sophia University in Palo Alto. Tami serves spiritual and creative people on a journey to fullness of expression, joy, authenticity, and deep wisdom. Those brave souls who sense that change is imminent and who long to connect with that which brings them more fully alive and the gifts they are born to bring into the world. As a trained circle leader, Tami creates a group vibe that is a multi-sensory experience filled with vibrant music, fragrance, dazzling images, backyard bonfires, heart-opening cacao, tasty delights to spark creativity, and most importantly, authentic relationship. Tami's special sauce is palpable energy blended with her master's education in transpersonal psychology, serving as a transformative coach and teacher, and over 30 years experience in marketing and entrepreneurship. Lover of Pinot Grigio, peppermint patties, patchouli, Peloton, Pearl Jam, and our beautiful planet. Mom to 3 most amazing humans, a white fluff, and a wife of 25 years. And her topic today is Rituals of Rewilding, the unfolding nature of presence. Wow. The unfolding nature of presence is already resonating so much for me. So I'm wondering, where do we start from this present moment to dive into this beautiful topic?
Well, I just want to begin by just really inviting us to fully arrive here right now. And to just drop into our deep listening and sensing in our bodies, and to speak from that place, to allow for spontaneity, to surprise ourselves from what comes out, to be vulnerable and honest about what we're sharing, and to drop any agenda, really, to fix or to change or to manufacture a specific experience. And so as you and I have this conversation from this place, I invite and welcome everyone who's joining us here to do the same, to be fully participatory, and to track and notice What's going on for you? Are you feeling a constriction or rejecting of what you're hearing, or resistance? Are you feeling an openness or an aliveness or a resonance? And allow that to unfold and to show you, to learn what's happening for your own self and your own learnings in this process.
Beautiful. And what's emerging for me when you invite us into the space is really connecting with our body. Our body is so present in the here and now moment. So what I'm also sensing is a sort of movement, you know,
Yeah.
away from the sitting still and agenda and just being, and my body is moving, you know, even if it's very slight, and to
Yeah.
connect to that.
Yeah. And I'm feeling like a tingling, like a vibrancy, and a warmth,
Mhm.
and that's being in the present moment. Is to tune into the body, because the body is your body can't be anywhere besides where it is right now. The mind can be all over the place, but going into the body is really coming into the present. And I know that that's a lot of the work that you do, and in somatic experiencing, and it's I believe the future pathway for change and for evolution as well. And so as we come into this topic of rituals of rewilding, in the broader container of presence and coaching, I'd like to start by just kind of breaking it down. What do we mean by ritual?
Mhm.
What do we mean by rewilding? What do we mean by um, presence? What do we mean by coaching?
Mhm.
And why is this important?
Mhm.
And also bringing everyone along with us into maybe some little micro practices or mini rituals along the way, whatever comes up in the emergent that we feel we want to explore together.
Beautiful. I feel like we're opening up like this container, really welcoming everybody in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What comes to me, that in itself can already be like a ritual, you know, opening.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my association with the work. One of them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Being present and letting that container open.
Yes. The ritual really is a bridge between the material and the spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that we do with intention and sacredness can be a ritual. It's also, rituals are a path that we walk over and over again. So it's a consistency. It's developing a relationship with the spiritual world, with the sacred as well. And so it can really take the shape in any form, just like we just did now. It's an invitation to be more present, or it could be an action or some kind of offering that we make in our everyday lives. We have, for example, lighting a candle, or sitting on your meditation cushion, or drinking your tea, or petting your pet, playing with your pet. Anything where we just drop down and drop in and connect more deeply, I believe can be a ritual when it's done over and over again. And when you sit down on your cushion, to meditate, the spirit world knows that you are knows to listen, that you're there day after day after day, and that you're serious, and so things, there's more attention paid and more things open up in the process, in the unfolding of that. So in one of the practices that I do in groups is a moon ritual, where every month we gather as wild women, and under the new moon to set intentions. And that's a beautiful, ritual. Communicating with our plant allies, is a beautiful ritual. Journaling, listening to music, all of that is a beautiful ritual. And I would love to open this space with lighting a candle, so that we can come together in this little mini ritual.
Yes, beautiful.
And I'm going to just say an invocation that we say in the Wild Women Project. Those are the type of circles that I lead. It's a global network of women's circles. And this is what we say at the start of every circle. Let this flame represent the wild spirit that burns in each of us. And when we awaken our own wild spirit, we awaken the collective spirit. And now I'm feeling my breathing deepening, my heart opening, and I'm connecting with the fire element, watching it dance before me. I'm smelling the beautiful scent from the candle, and all of my senses are coming alive.
Getting the impulse to also light a candle.
Please do.
Yes, so you'll just have to give me a second.
Yes.
I have this one here. Now, I'm not so good with words, but the spirit of what you said when you lit yours really resonated for me. And it had to do with awakening our wild spirit and helping everybody else, or touching on everybody else to awaken theirs. So with that intention, I light this candle. Yeah, it's making me feel very present and connected and grateful for the connection that we're creating here.
And just knowing that our candles are lit together, it makes me feel connected to you too.
Yeah, it makes me feel connected. Yeah, beautiful. I'm just gonna put it right here.
Yeah, I don't think you can see mine, but
Yeah,
I
don't think you can see mine either, but it's right there. Beautiful. So that in itself has already really, I can really feel a little shift. Like you said, the intention and the sacredness are important aspects and of ritual.
Right, I feel like we drop deeper in together. Yeah. And when we come together in these circles, just to give the people that are with us here an idea of what we do, we bring in music, so everyone comes into the circle, whether it's online or in person, with music, with that there's a certain theme, every month, that is a connection to the elements and to the astrological chart, wherever we are in the sky, and to our deeper nature as well, because it's not an accident that the word nature and nature are the same word. So it's connecting those two together. And We do centering and guided visualization journeys and sharing and journaling and intention setting and howling, at the end. Maybe at the end of this session, maybe we'll do a big howl together in closing and send our voices out to vibrate on. So maybe that's something that we'll share at the end. And all of this is to really rewild ourselves. And rewilding, and when you said you were talking about this, your summit, and going beyond the conditioned self, that's exactly what rewilding is. It's remembering who we were when we were untamed, before all that conditioning took place, before our personality structure started protecting us. Our personality is formed as a way for us to get along in the world, to get our needs met, and develop the face and the way of being that seeks approval or gets our security, finds security, and so when you drop all that, what is left? What is really there?
What really comes up for me there is like the word, but also the feeling of essence.
Essence.
Yeah.
Essence. And that is really presence. What's left? I see you're feeling something now. Do you want to share?
Feeling something, and I feel that when I connect with that, it is so, there's something very tender, and I wouldn't say vulnerable or fragile, but it's got that, it's somehow, it's just there, like the flame in a way. It's actually like the flame of the candle. Yeah, that's what's coming for me. And there's something very nourishing about touching into that within me. That's what came up for me when you said that. And it's present for me now. I love that, being like a flame. Like, that's my movement.
Yeah, I see that. I see that, like candle flickering, right? I love that. And that's part of the rewilding, is waking up to that part of us that is deeply connected to the web of life and to each other, to ourselves, connection to our inner guidance. And that's where it all resides. When you're trying to think your way out of things, or, so many people are like overthinking, and that's when you dip below that is where the real guidance comes from. The real knowing, the deep knowing. And I think of animals and young children, right? And I look at my dog, my white fluff was part of my introduction. He teaches me so much, my little white dog, Diogi. And he just sits in pure awareness. And he's so in the moment, and whatever it is that we're doing, he's happy to be doing, and just rests in that seat of that deep awareness. And children do the same. They're just who they are, raw and real. And so remembering back into that and reimagining what it is to be that in this world, now in our everyday lives. Because I know we all can't just sit here and be like this all day, right? Although we may want to. How do we bring this into our everyday lives, into our world, into our way of being? And that's the practice and the exploration.
And maybe it's about taking that, we can't be like you said, we can't be like this all day, but we can take that with us because it's a kind of knowing. And when you spoke of deep inner knowing, I feel like oftentimes we let our lives be so ruled by this other kind of knowing, which also has its place and its amazing importance. But we need to step away from that kind of knowing to step into this deeper knowing that we all also have within us that can help us connect at the end of the day, because that's what it did for me right now. Yeah, it probably will do in all the different facets and ways that all us different people experience, or beings experience.
Yeah, exactly. And so what this is teaching us, I believe, is a way to be okay with what is.
Mm-hmm.
And in this here-ness and this now-ness, to expand our capacity to be here with what is. All of the stuff that goes on in our head is our own story that we're creating. But to be here, it's not avoiding it's not being passive. It's actually being more engaged with what is emerging, sensing into it, and working with the flow of what's inside and what's here and what's now.
Yeah, and what rang for me there was where you said it's not avoiding. It really isn't avoiding. It's being present with what is. So I'm noticing different things now. It's changed. I was very much with the flame, which was and now I'm sort of like, okay, there's also some tension, but it's just there. Yeah, I'm just sensing into it, and by sensing into it, it's okay for it to be there, without it having any meaning attached to it. Makes it okay to just be with that here and continue being here with you in that space.
Yeah. You know what I love about what you just shared is, we're talking about language and how we don't always have the words. And you were saying that you felt some tension. And it's okay not to attach a story to that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to attach words to it, not to try to figure it out or fix it.
Now that's giving me goosebumps, because oftentimes I feel, and that of course it is also definitely informed by my own life story, but words do tend to narrow down our experience because we have a story attached to words. And how beautiful it is to step away from that and just be with this more whole experience of what's happening.
Right.
It's
And
making
notice
me happy.
yeah, see, and that's so interesting. You just said that because now it changed, right? You didn't have to change it.
No, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
By acknowledging it, noticing it, feeling it, it shifted and it moved, and now it's happiness. You didn't have to say, oh, I'm tense, so now let me untense myself, right? That's the flow.
Yeah, and actually what I'm feeling now is I gave it its place. And I think for things to have a place is really important.
What do you mean by you gave it its place?
Like it could be there. It didn't have to be pushed away. So it had place in my awareness, in my beingness, in that
Mhm.
particular moment.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the unfolding that we're
Mhm.
talking about. That's the emergent that we're allowing to be. And this place allows for new things to be born.
Mm.
We're not just walking in our old footsteps of, oh, this means this. We're shedding all of that and saying, okay, what is here now?
Mm.
And trusting what that is to come through and what wants to be said, what wants to be shared, what wants to be known. And this is what creates a new path, something new. This is what you're talking about in your summit of finding inner freedom and the path for humanity, how this is connected. Because the new ways are not built by the old path, but by what's happening now. And being comfortable with that in the unknown, and allowing that to surprise ourselves, to be something different, to not try to put ourselves in a certain way or box. My favorite saying is, we don't have to be who we were 5 minutes ago.
Beautiful. I might make that my favorite saying as well.
Alan Watts. And now I'm even feeling like we don't have to be who we were 5 seconds ago. So this is how we grow and change and evolve.
This is now giving me such a sense of being freedom.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I just feel like we just let go of all that, like what we need to do and need to say. This might be a good time for a little micro practice
Yeah.
together so that everyone can feel into this a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to invite everyone to just join into this short practice that you could just do right here, right now. You don't need anything. And what we're going to do is practice releasing, right? And letting go so that we can open up into the vastness and the potentiality of the unknown. So first, just take your hands and you can just make fists, make a ball of a fist, and literally, grip your hand and squeeze as hard as you can. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels right to you. And bring into your mind all of the things that you are clinging to, that you want to have or want to be, or that you're holding on to, that you're grasping, that you don't want to let go of because if you're afraid to, because it's yours, because it's the way it is, because it's the way you want it. And feel how your hands are constricting and clinging. And now very slowly unclench. Really breathe into this space and very, very, very slow. Just unfurl your fingers. feel the blood begin to flow. And slowly allowing and softening and opening. And now feel into this new space in your palm. What making space for what is to come. Can you feel the power in this openness to potential? This acceptance, trust, and willingness. So I'm curious, Julia, if you're finished with your practice, what did you experience?
Well, when we at the beginning, when we started with the clenching, at first actually it felt great. I was like, wow, power, strong, yeah, can hold on. And then I started feeling this tightness and the constriction of it, and also of course a little bit of pain with my nails and my fingertips digging into the flesh of my hand. And the minute I started releasing, so before my fingers even started opening up and unfurling, but just letting go of that grip, there was like this incredible like release. And I had the association, it's almost like stepping back from a closed door to get a wider view of what other doors might be there. That was sort of an image that came up for me that I didn't even see because I was like in my fists. Yeah. And yeah. And so the unfurling actually felt really, really good, and expansive. And I don't actually know anything right now except for that sensation I'm having of really being connected to my palms and that my hands are open. It's actually really nice. I'm enjoying it. Here they are.
Right. So then we say, what's here now? Right?
Yeah.
And so this is, go ahead.
One word that I forgot, but what also came to me with the release was the word surrender.
Yeah.
Surrendering into what is.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, why is this so important today? Right? So I believe, and I'm sure other people feel, that we are leaving like one stable world. I mean, we could call it modernity, right? The last like 200 or 300 years. And there was a certain certainty to that world. And I do believe there will be another stable world to come. And now we're between the two shores. And so this is the place where we are living today. So how do we talk about birthing this new world? We talk about wanting, by allowing new things to come through and not clinging to old ways and old habits. New ways of being can come forth. And this is why I believe that this practice and through coaching and circle, where we can practice this way of authentic relating, of being with ourselves, is the most powerful thing we can be doing right now. So there's no attempt to fix or change agenda. We're dropping all of that to sense into a new way of being. And so, in each moment we can ask, what is it that I'm longing for? What's the invitation here? So while we are surrendering to what is, we are also allowing what's new to come forth. What's the invitation that's coming from the longing? And that's the practice of how to, deepen into it. What's bursting, in you now? And that's a new place of birth. Yeah.
It's really what's coming out for me really strongly is that that's also the way that we can, by asking a question like that, it can help us hold that space. Because it can be a very unfamiliar and uncomfortable way, being in between things. We all know that. I think we're like, at the end of the day, we're always in between things.
Right.
But the way that many of us are conditioned are that we have to be somewhere and something, not in between. Or if you're in between, you've got to make sense of, the path. But to actually be comfortable and to hold that space of that with that question can help us hold that space, that very important space of something else coming through or evolving through us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's this paradox of change, that letting go, really opens us, to change. And we're all in transition. So much of many of my clients and people in some sort of transition. When we started our conversation today, I said, I'm in such transition, between discovering how to blend two worlds together, different types of coaching, different modalities, that I'm in this transition in my life and in my work. And so it's not clear, but it's coming. It's coming. And this is where I am right now. Right. And so in the work now, I've been guiding these wild women moon circles and group coaching. And also I'm a teacher and I certify coaches. How to blend, these worlds. It's so interesting because Michael Meade says that, the word weird, right, comes from the etymology of WYRD, right? That's where that word started, weird. And what it really meant is to have one foot in two worlds.
Wow.
What weird is.
I love it. I love it. I can be weird now.
Yeah, weird. Everybody get weird, right?
Howl.
Ooh. Yes, yes, yes. And
wow, I'm still reacting. That was
yeah,
powerful.
right,
Yeah.
right. So bringing I'm blending the circle architecture, structure, group coaching, group dynamic, way of counsel with the formality. I'm going to remove that word, with the structure of coaching today. How do I bring more circle into coaching? And how do I bring more coaching into circle? And so if you break it down, circle is a place where everything is okay. It's a container that can hold the full spectrum of emotions. I always say, however you arrive, it's okay. You do not have to change the way you are today. We are fully accepting of ourselves and each other in this space as we explore. We use our, transpersonal selves, and for those that may be unfamiliar with transpersonal is going beyond the self and into the farthest reaches of our human potential and our deep imagination, our dreams, movement, plant and animal communication, intuition, music, right? All of those things are, I believe, are places that we have yet to grow. These are the realms at which we have to explore and to develop into more of our humanness. And so we do that, in circle and with a theme and communing with the elements and with through visualization and sharing, and by hearing what other people say, how does it resonate with me? What does it mean to me? We don't advice give or anything like that. And all of those are also the core competencies of coaching as well. So as a teacher of coaches, right, we teach to create a container of trust. We allow, we don't fix or advice give. We believe that the coachee knows what's best for the coachee, we don't know what's best. We haven't lived their experience. Their answers are already inside of them. So by deep listening and deep presence, we allow what is to come to emerge, to be a mirror, to reflect back that which is already there in the client. The clients come with a presenting issue, and we get beyond that content and go into the context of what's really, really here now. And what's the resistance to what is here now that is blocking that? That presenting issue is really a resistance to what is here now. So how do we remove that barrier? How do we see it from a broader perspective, from a place of presence, which is a place of acceptance, love? It's of the self. It's where there are no boundaries, where we're open and connected.
Beautiful. Yeah. And what comes for me, like with the resistance, is also being present with that, the wisdom of that, because of experiences that we've had or conditionings that we've grown up with or that we've taken on board from older generations. And to be with that resistance can actually help us, pull away or pull open that curtain to seeing what am I actually being resistant to.
Yes. And I find my own resistance showing up in distraction.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? What's more? What else can I be doing? How could I market or package this experience? That's a common subpersonality for me. My background is in entrepreneurship and marketing. So I've got this real strong part that wants to package and market and promote whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I've got my transpersonal part, that is like, whoa, Tami, you don't have to let that go, right? And they're both fully needed.
Mm-hmm.
And useful when you're in your place of presence and you say, okay, now is a good time for me to use marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hijacking my
Mhm.
experience.
Mhm.
It's I'm as myself in charge of, I'm driving the
Mhm.
bus, I'm driving the car, right? And saying, okay, now is, don't, that's distracting me out of my experience to do that right now. I'm shortchanging my experience to step out of it right now. Let me stay with it even more. Let me keep staying with it. And sometimes clients will come to me and they'll say, I'll be like, well, what are you feeling right now? I don't feel anything. Nothing. Well, let's explore that. What is it that is the numbness that you're not feeling? And so when you do this in a group, it's really, really powerful too, because the group takes it all on and holds the whole container.
That's what I'm sensing in like now with the container that we created. I also feel, even though we're now in the middle of the year and the summit will be aired at a later time in the year, I still feel like there's a container here that's making something possible that wouldn't be possible alone.
Exactly.
Mm.
And that's how it goes from one to many.
Mhm.
So many people are saying, oh, how can I, make the change? And we say, oh, within yourself, it starts here. We hear that all the time. But what's that bridge to actually bringing it out into the world? It's this community of being this way together that takes it from one to we, and we shape and form it together as a community.
Beautiful. What wonderful offerings you have there.
Mm.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're heading towards the end of our beautiful conversation. So maybe you can let our speakers know, our speakers, our listeners know about your offerings, free gift offering, and any other way that they might want to get in touch with you.
Sure, yes. My website is tamimensh.com, my name.com. And I would like to invite the listeners to attend a Wild Woman Moon Circle. We hold them every month, and I have a membership, and I'd like to open that up to those of you that identify as women to join us for a Wild Woman Moon Circle. We'll have a couple of dates that you can choose from. And for everyone, I have a PDF that is about creative decision making that gets you out of your head and more into your wild self to make decisions from that place. And there's also a guided meditation that I'd like to offer. And as you said, Julia, the summit won't be airing for a few months now, and I'm in this transition, and there may be new things that come forth and that spring forth from this time. So things might change a little bit, but know that there will be a generosity and an invitation to experience this work and to go deeper with me. So that's there always.
Wonderful. And for everybody watching, just scroll down the speaker page and you'll get access to Tami's beautiful offerings. Yes.
Should we howl out and then blow out our candles together?
Sure. Okay,
So
now this is
why do
really
we
new for me. Let me let that go.
Yes, it's like, so why are we howling, right? So she who howls finds her pack.
Oh.
And right? And howling is a deep primal sound. And it goes beyond words, Julia, right? And it could be a howl of longing, a howl of pain, a howl of joy, right? A howl of connection. And you don't have to say what any of it is. It comes out the way it is, and it vibrates and you feel it. And so whatever it's inside, let it just come out however it does. And if you're feeling resistance, which I know people do, check in and say, why am I resistant? Am I afraid of looking silly or sounding silly? And if that's the case, then what is looking or sounding silly really stopping you from doing in your life? So,
inviting everyone to howl with us, hey?
yes. So I'm just going to just say 1, 2, 3, and then we'll howl and we'll blow out our candles and we can bow to each other in gratitude. How does that feel?
Fantastic.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ow! Feels good. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
And a pleasure getting to know you better.
Wonderful.
And I know that we may be out of time, but we're not finished.
Beautiful. And thank you, everybody, for watching and being present with us.